Welcome back into the Recruiting Roundup on Sports360AZ.com, brought to you by Rock and Refuel Varsity. That's Jason Jewell of Scout.com. I'm Jared Cohen. We bring the latest in Arizona high school football recruiting and do so year-round. Great 2014 season. Congrats to all the state champions at every level. It was a fantastic year. A lot of fun to watch. Believe it or not, during the 2014 season is kind of a slow time in recruiting, but once the season ended, it really picked up, and we'll bring the latest right now. Jason, first offer to bring up Chase Lucas out of Chandler, had a monster year, is now a state champion, and picked up a Pac-12 offer.
Yeah, it was offered by UCLA. Now he's up to 9 offers, but only a junior. He's a top 100 national recruit by Scout.com. Just a big-time dynamic player, can do it all. Plays running back, but I think he might end up being a corner at the next level.
Another state champion, Byron Murphy at Saguaro. He had that beautiful one-handed catch in that big game against Williamsfield. He picks up an offer.
Yeah, now he's at a dozen now. Indiana is the latest offer, so he gets that Big Ten offer. He has multiple offers again. He's another guy that's a top 100 national recruit, and he's playing corner, but had a great year as a wide receiver this year for the SaberCats. Could play on either side of the ball. Kind of reminds me of what Tyler Wiley was able to do a couple years ago at Chaparral.
Big water heating, chucking Connor Murphy picks up 2 offers since the season ended.
Yeah, I actually saw him, ran into him on Saturday, and he is huge. He is 6'7" and legitimately weighs 250 pounds. Was offered by the old staff at Oregon State that's now moved over to Nebraska, so we'll see if they're going to honor that and offer him at Nebraska. But it was also offered by Vanderbilt to go along with his offers from Arizona State and Stanford.
Mountain Point's running back Brandon Leonard was an absolute warrior this season. He picks up his first Division I offer.
Yeah, and about time. New Mexico State is smart and offered this kid. I absolutely love him. He rushed for 200 yards in multiple games this year and is just a workhorse. He's a guy that I also think could play an outside linebacker spot at the next level, but the Aggies have offered as a running back, and I love that offer.
And Jason, 3 more offers that we want to get to, smaller school offers, but still very, very great accomplishments for these kids.
Yeah, we tend to focus just on the Division I schools, don't want to minimize the accomplishments of these guys, but Mitch Riley, the linebacker at Push Ridge, had a very good senior season, was offered by the University of San Diego. J.W. Windsor, state champion, defensive tackle at Chandler High, was offered by Bethel College, and then Arizona Christian and Morningside in Iowa offered Greenway linebacker Robbie Deaver.
And Jason, now that's it for the offers, but Jason, we look at the landscape now between now and signing day, and so many things can change. You look at coaching changes like at Nebraska and Florida and other things that can happen over the course of the next few weeks, and it does impact some of the players, some of the big-time recruits here in the Valley.
Yeah, you mentioned that coaching change. Mike Riley leaving Oregon State, going to Nebraska. Will it affect what Yuma Catholic tight end Matt Pistone is ultimately going to do? You know, I talked to him, and he said he's still committed to Oregon State. We'll see if Riley, offers him at Nebraska. But I think Boise State's another school that could be in the mix for it. Pistone down here at the end. Then you look at Cassius Pete. He was committed to UCLA. He decided he wanted to reopen his commitment and has recently taken or had in-home visits from the staffs at Michigan State and from Arizona State. And then Christian Kirk had his top 6 narrowed down for a long time and then canceled his visit to USC. So we'll see who he picks next Wednesday when he announces.
And all eyes will be on Saguaro High School next week. Finally, Jason, we want to get into commitments from JUCO players, former Arizona prep players. You're dialed into the JUCO scene out here as well. Let's talk about some of those guys.
Yeah, the Arizona Junior Colleges is a very, very good and very talented football league. So it's a good way for players to get re-recruited if they feel they weren't recruited at the level that they wanted to. And all of these players were able to actually step up their game and get recruited at a higher level than they were out of high school. The first one we'll look at is Glendale Community College safety Leandre Vaughn. The only offer he had out of high school was Colorado State Pueblo. Well, he recently committed to NAU. Then you look at Saguaro the offensive guard Andy Herbs. He actually signed with Simon Fraser, Division II school up in Canada, ended up walking on Arizona State, but he got a scholarship offer from Idaho, took that and committed this weekend on his visit. Chuksa Michi is a defensive end out of Westview High School via Arizona Western, and he signed with North Dakota State, kind of bounced around from Phoenix College to Arizona Western, but he got a big-time offer, and he committed to Georgia. And then a second player out of Mesa Community College, just talked about Herbs, Deron Brown is a safety out of Mesa Community College. He's He's a guy very intriguing. He committed to Cal, but he did not play his senior season at Fairfax High School because of an injury. Goes to Mesa, has a very good year, and commits to Cal.
So congratulations to all those guys. Local players going JUCO still have an opportunity to play major Division I football. So those guys, just another example of that. Finally, Jason, before we go, like we mentioned, this is a crazy time of year. Season's over. Recruiting picks up leading up to signing day. What can we expect, and what can players do to help themselves out?
Yeah, right now this is the busy time of year. The college coaches, they're either their season is done or they're preparing for their bowl games, so they have a little bit of time off. So now it's going to be really, really busy. So as you keep following the recruiting roundup, because there's going to be a lot of news. But during this time, it's very, very important that these players keep their huddle film and their highlights updated and current, and make sure you do well in school and finish strong academically. There's two parts of your resume. It's your transcripts and your film, so they better be on point if you plan on getting a Division I scholarship.
That's Jason Jewell of Scout.com. I'm Jared Cohen, Sports 360 AZ. This has been the Recruiting Roundup, brought to you by Rock and Refuel Varsity.